There's really no way of sugarcoating it. 2018 was a very embarrassing year for me. You may recall in March, Bruce was painted, and a lot happened as I tried to move back and forth to California, and you know what? Actually, not much really did happen, but there's a lot of footage that I want to get out of the way, and I'll show you that here. And once we do that, we can move on, and I'll show you what's been going on with Bruce and Genevieve. Now, I started out by visiting California several times, and one of these times I saw my wife perform. We made eye contact twice. I'm still holding out for hope. And then I worked on the bus to get it roadworthy so I could pack up and move to the West Coast. Then went back to visit Bruce and saw that everything was good out in the sunlight once the paint had fully cured. I did, however, find a small dent on the door, so I had them fix that dent. Then I came back a few days later and I had them fix that dent. And then I put the most beautiful and practical station wagon I've ever purchased up for sale, like an idiot. Bruce came home to the farm to live with the other Volvos. When Genevieve came in, she was clean and ready for storage. Bruce, on the other hand, was stored outside for a couple days while I was out of town. The shop was going to start charging storage fees, and we got it out as soon as we could. But we got 1 or 2 days of rain, and it's got sand on it. The rain's not going to be a problem. The sand's not going to be a problem. The location was free of trees and power lines, so that's good. No problems with birds or sap. And I want to get all of this dirt off before I start putting a car cover on it. Well, even on the inside, you could see some of the dirt that blew in. There's the wiring harness. Got door seals here. I'm slowly adding parts to it as needed from the storage bits that we have. I'm emptying the shelves. You can see there's not much left. Actually, you can't because everything's hiding. Now, the carpet in here, the big rubber mat, it's a little big. It's gonna need some trimming. That tunnel is wider than the physical tunnel in the car. I'm unsure why that is. Maybe it was an earlier, later year thing, and I don't believe so because I don't know that to be the case. But I could be wrong. I'm leaving room to be wrong every day of my life. Here in Genevieve, started filling up things as well. Box of old upholstery, all the new parts, the new foams, the door sills, whatever the shop is going to need to get that upholstery taken care of. So I'm really excited to be moving out of here. Just from running some water on that windshield, I've got myself a leak. Oh, that sucks. I was told to use the sealer, but I peeled back what I could, you know, from the inside, and I don't see any sealant. It's just one more thing on our list for this car, and all things considered, it's not a big issue, especially now that we have this much access to it. And so the sisters were together again. Hey, baby. And I helped Soren get a family heirloom out of storage.
This is the embossed emblem. This thing will survive forever. Forever. And then over here, we've got 4 years in the sun. It's cooked. That clear off. Let's see what that's supposed to look like. Supposed to look something like this. This side was in the shade for 4 years. Still a little faded, but they're really great emblems. Boy, I haven't done this in a while.
Driven a standard?
No, started with a screwdriver. Maybe it's a short. I don't know why I ever sold this. I think I needed money for school. Man, I love this car. And the reason we brought her out of retirement is because that XC90 there's got a blown turbo, so she's smoking a fair amount. And this 240 is about to get chopped, and then we're gonna put her on this trailer. Thanks for joining.
Why someone would want to steal a 90 Volvo wagon is beyond me.
We're ready to do the heater core now.
Yep.
And as spring turned into summer, Soren and I found ourselves into some typical David and Soren various shenanigans.
Oh yeah. Oh, she's not happy.
No,
That's brilliant.
She's not happy at all.
Cool. Beans. We still love her.
Oh yeah.
Sort of.
I just, when we go to California, gotta find a front engine transmission for her.
Yeah.
Because if I'm gonna do turbos, you might as well just do the whole engine, you know? Yeah.
The globalists. All right, so we're chopping her now. Here we go. It's coming. Here we go. Should I be standing on this?
Maybe.
Famous last words. Oh my gosh, it's the glue. That's incredible. That's why they don't leak.
That is why they don't leak.
We're
That is
freaking chumps with these other cars, man. These Amazons getting all dry installs. Come on, you ever have a 240 leak on the windshield? Because this one.
Hold on, let me cut the glue.
Oh man, this is so satisfying.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
I don't know if you can tell.
Spot that I missed.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, on the other side.
Well, say goodbye to your, I don't know, insurance policy. There we go.
You all right, Dave?
Yeah, I made a face that I haven't made in a while. Not since.
This pains me also.
It's a small car, but it managed to fit both bumpers. I also got the heater box for Bruce. It's painted gray to match the OEM style of the day.
And so summer went from being very hot to very rainy and gloomy, just how I like it. And then Genevieve went off to the upholstery shop. The idea here is that paint, body, and upholstery would be cheaper in New Mexico, so we would do it all there before I move. And Soren and I found ourselves in other shenanigans. This was a Mustang that wiggled its way betwixt some steel barrier cables on the highway median.
Yeah, there's a lot of black smoke coming at me.
Because of course, it's a Mustang. It's what they do. And I took a flight back to California on a very fancy new plane and spent some time with family. We did some sightseeing, and California was beautiful, and I was happy.
It's funny, I'm recording on my phone. He's doing that too.
But the vacation ended, and I had to go back home and resume the work, and I started to feel depressed again. And I saw my wife again, and she's doing fine, thank you for asking. She didn't see me this time, but I know she felt me there. And so I bought a cheap Miata to feel better. And I did. And it worked. And I fixed the Miata, and it was good. And I helped a pretty girl with her Volvo. And then I loaded up the bus with everything that was ready to go to California. And it was good. 10.6 miles per gallon at 70 miles an hour, between 65 and 70. That's not bad, but half a tank got me 140 miles. I survived Phoenix with no air conditioning and saw some pretty sunsets. And later saw some pretty scary sandstorms just outside of Barstow. Notice how the lights in front of me are about to disappear because there was just that much sand.
I don't think the restaurant smells that much. And these black cormorants. Whoa. Yeah, they're stinkies.
And I spent some time reflecting and staring at the sunset and being all bleh and all that stuff. So it was good. California's beautiful. It was nice. And I ate a lot. And I drank so much drink. And unfortunately, I put on some weight. Which is not good. So I made some changes to my life. I began to exercise.
Go. Nice.
A lot. Made some lifestyle changes and changes to my environment. And most importantly, I made changes to my diet. And I drank a lot of kombucha. And I lost the weight. You know, it felt pretty good. Things were starting to look up as I had to go back home to continue the work on the cars and make some videos with some friends and fix the Miata and put the Miata up for sale, and then put the Volvo S60R front-wheel drive up for sale, and sooner or later had to put Arthur up for sale too. And Genevieve came home from the upholstery shop. And the work was good. But I started to feel depressed again. I went to the drag strip to clear my mind, and sooner or later I got some work in the local theater. So I flew back to California to pick up the bus. And I had a very nice, scenic, but bittersweet drive back home.
Change of plans. The bus is home here in New Mexico. We're gonna have a very busy summer.
And life was much like this photo, gloomy but pretty at the same time. But I was happy to be in the theater, and I was happy to be making new friends, and I was happy to be performing. And I did perform. A lot. And I didn't stop performing. For the rest of the year and for the next 8 months, I lived in the theater.
Pork chops and applesauce.
And while I waited for the front-wheel drive S60R to sell, I kept it around as a daily driver. And then I made the Lexus video, which was well on its way to being my first video to 1 million views. A lame burnout notwithstanding, but then again, you try driving and droning at the same time. And then I made my annual pilgrimage to San Luis Obispo for Slow Rolling 2018, and it was good. And then I volunteered for the San Diego Film Festival, which was not good. Then I went to my favorite part of the country, the Oregon coast, with some family, and that was really nice. And we saw some art, and we made some art. And I love Portland and the area so much. Why am I not living there? And then I fell in love with the BMW Z4. I realized I was missing that topless feeling in my life. And I took an overnight Greyhound bus to Phoenix, Arizona. I don't recommend doing any of those 3 things. You're not supposed to get good fuel economy in a sports car? Well, apparently you can. But I fell in love with the car, and I've never looked back since. And the seasons began to change, and my favorite time of year was now upon us, the snow. And the gloomier the weather got, front-wheel drive S60R was happy, and so was I. Then I started wearing these driving gloves everywhere, and I became that guy. And I thought, you know, if girls won't talk to me, I may as well just be as unapproachable as possible. And it worked. And then I bought the $240 240, which we can all agree has amused all of us. And then on the very last day of the year, I told myself, you know, you don't drive the silver BMW much because you're so worried about it getting scratched or damaged. Buy a beater car. And I love the Z4 so much that I bought the black one, and I never looked back. And the worse the weather got, the happier David got. And that was 2018. I kind of ended up right where I started. The cars made only a little bit of progress, but 2019 actually turned out to be much more productive and fruitful for that. Today is actually my birthday, and I'm reflecting on the last few years of my life, and really excited to show you what 2019 was like, so thanks for sticking with me as we got through all this footage, and I will see you guys shortly with more videos on Bruce.
All right, thanks.
Oh no, bro.